Hey guys, welcome to Bow Hunting Soul. Back in my basement in here. One of these days we're going to actually finish this basement and actually get a room with a nice white background and a table I can work on to kind of show you some of this stuff. But until then, we're kind of in this little corner with the light shining off my bald head. I apologize, but we're just going to have to deal with it. We've got to do what we got to do. This video is going to be about the grip. Now this is the Bear Grizzly. I think you've seen this one before. I keep threatening to do like a full review on this thing and shooting on this thing, but when you saw this was when I was doing the brace height tuning video. Now if you notice, I've got tape on here. This is like kind of like hockey tape, gaffer tape kind of thing. The reason I have that is because a common complaint that I have with the way I shoot these things is a lot of the bear bows will have what we call like a high wrist grip, meaning, you know, when you're holding this thing, you know, you're like this, okay, kind of like if any of you guys shoot Glocks. For some people they point just fine. For me, I feel like I have to like break my wrist down just so the barrel shoots straight. I don't think it's a very good design. A 1911 on the other hand is, you know, you can close your eyes, point it, open your eyes, and it's pretty much pointed the way it's supposed to be, the way God intended, or John Moses Browning. But anyway, that's a gun thing. This, I've done some stuff to it. I keep talking about how I've actually modified the grip on this thing to be a little more flat, you know, to kind of bring more heel down into it, so I'm not like this. I've also done it on this Kodiak Magnum. Okay, it was really dished. Now what I'm gonna do is I decided, well, you know, I'm not getting good consistent, no matter what, I like shooting these things, that I wasn't getting good consistent grip. I really like a flat grip, almost like the grip on this compound over here, you know, or on pretty much any compound. And I really like a nice flat area. That way it doesn't kind of rock in my hand. Even on my Kodiak, my 59 Kodiak, this part right here was it just came like too much of a kind of a ridge. And I actually ended up sanding just like a nice little bit flat. I couldn't do too much, but just a flat, so that when it locks in my hand, it actually locks in my hand. It doesn't, you know, do one, you know, it doesn't, you know, turn one way or another. That it actually just kind of self-centers the flat against the flat of my palm, and then I can actually grip this thing properly. I'm going to take this tape off and show you what I did to get this profile, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this JB Weld KwikWood. Don't laugh at the name, it's called KwikWood. And this is like a putty that dries in about an hour. You mold it in a shape, and then it's sandable, paintable, all this other stuff. The reason I was experimenting with this last night, was I've actually got some tape under this, some like blue duct tape underneath this thing to actually fill in this. So I'm going to pause this, I'm going to take this tape off, and I'm going to show you what I did, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to replace this ghetto kind of setup. At least it kind of gave me the answer that I wanted. Now I'm going to do it with wood, so I'll get back to you. Okay, we're back. So you see this? This is all duct tape that I kind of built up little tiny piece by piece to try and see that if I can fill in this valley and to see if I was going to like it. And I do. Now this thing comes off. Okay, this is just purely as a test to see if this filling in this deep dish was going to work for me, and it is. So this is just a chunk. It's going to go in the garbage. Bye bye. So if you notice, this is a really deep dish. Now I've actually sanded this. I tried just doing the sanding on here to try and, you know, it was like, you know, it was exaggerated but too much, but just to kind of bring this down a little more, so I'm not doing one of these. I'm more doing, you know, like one of these solid, but it's still not quite right for me, because this, I need to fill in this little area so it's not so dished, okay? And then again, and this one's even more exaggerated than that. This, the Kodiak Magnum has even more of a dish in there, even though I did sand this one too. I've been shooting it okay, but I really like shooting it this way much better. It just fits so much better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this container, and when I open this up, I'll start kneading it all together. You basically mix, you know what, I'll do it right now. What you do, it comes in this, if I can pull it out. When in doubt, bring out tools. The stuff stinks. I might cut this part out. Let me get back to you when I get all this out. Okay, that took entirely way too long, but here's this little saran wrap thing that it's kind of wrapped in. Get rid of that. And it's this putty. It's this two-part putty, or it's one stick rather, but it's got like two. If you can see the different colors in there. Okay, the outside kind of mixes with the inside. If you open it up, it kind of looks like. Doesn't smell like a yummy treat, but it kind of looks like it looks like a yummy treat. Okay, so you basically knead this up. You kind of mold it together. You mash it up. I can't remember the directions. Read the directions. It says to do it for X many seconds. I don't know. Mix it up pretty good. Cut, remove, blah blah blah. Mix thoroughly. I don't know. Mix it. Okay. Basically, what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna put enough in here to fill in. Oh, stuff stinks. We're gonna fill in this gap. So we're making sure that this is nice and mixed together. Doesn't take long. You can see all the kind of colors. My awesome lighting works, doesn't get in the way too much. You can see that this is mixing up pretty good. So basically all we're gonna do, and this stuff, by the way, it says it sets up can be painted in an hour. Painted, sanded, drilled, whatever. I've tried using this on something else before. It doesn't quite cure in an hour, but it might. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna basically fill in this gap. Okay? We're gonna fill in this gap. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna try and kind of mold it to the way I want it to feel. Do that way. Okay? And kind of taper it in and just fill in this dish. So we have more of a let's put this up a little bit. So we have more of a flat grip. And then I can, because I like putting a lot of heel into it, and then that changes. That's going to change how the arrow reacts. It's going to change how the bow reacts in my hand, if it's going to rock this way or this way, and how it influences the arrow as it's going over the shelf. So I'm going to play with this a little bit more, and I am going to let this thing dry. The idea, I've got some time with this, and I'm going to do the other bow too, if I can maybe get to two of these two bows out of one stick. I bought 2 packages, but the idea then is when this is dry, I'm going to sand it, get my nice, like flat. This is still moldable. It's gonna, as long as you keep playing with it, this is actually moldable. And then when it's all nice and dry, I can sand it a little bit, and then I'm going to figure out, gonna have to venture into a place where I really don't want to go, which is gonna be like a Joann Fabrics or a Michaels. I gotta do it, and go get some, like a soft leather or some kind of pliable wrap that I can do. Kind of like I have the wrap on my 59 Kodiak hanging back there with that yellow soft grip. It's super nice grip. And then I've got some contact cement. Obviously, I can do that. I can cut that. I'm not concerned about this moving. It kind of bonds to this, but it really doesn't. You can actually take it off, sand it off a little bit, and it doesn't like fully like cement itself to this. So you do need to once you've got it on there, kind of wrap it with something to secure it. It's supposed to bond. It does not fully bond. and I don't want it to anyway. I want to wrap this thing, make it look nice, make it not look so ghetto. So anyway, I'm going to do this bow, and I'm going to do the Kodiak Magnum, and I don't think I'm going to do another video tonight. I'm going to see how this thing goes, how it dries, how solid it is, and then once I sand them and I shape them, then you know, I'll tune back in with you guys, and then we can go through the, you know, how many pieces of leather do I mess up trying to go around all these compound curves with a nice piece of leather. So anyway, stay tuned. This is like part 1 of my grip modification, and I'm pretty excited about it. So like, share, subscribe, and I will check you guys later.